Hello and welcome back. It's Dave at PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com, and it is Monday, April 17th, 2023. Happy birthday, Greg. Uh, what happened in the markets today? By the way, I did a little bit of this video change over the weekend, just to clear some things up. I put a lot of lines and things on my charts that I like to use, but they're not wholly necessary. So I put some things on here or took a lot of things off that I think might help get some points across. And clarify some things. So we can always add things back in later, but I'm going to call this the sort of what matters in my charts. So today, the markets, I'm going to do my review right along with you, and I'm going to try to make this quick. But the S&P was up by 0.33%. The Dow was up by 100 points, looks like 0.3%. We'll have to look at the Russell. It's zeroed out, drives me crazy. And the NASDAQ was up by 0.28%. The Russell, I'll go ahead and put it on the actual Russell. It's not, almost doesn't matter to me how much it went up percentage-wise today. It is a bullish candle. It did go up. We've got target dots on the daily. We've got buy signal is the latest thing on the TrueMomo indicator down here. We're bearish on the longer term on the red trail scan indicator. And over here on the weekly, we're still bearish. We've got a sell signal on the weekly. In my opinion, the daily matters more right now. When the daily flips and the weekly is down, then we got a problem. That's actually a time you could possibly go short. And you can see that I've got this based on two shares in this case, which I'm not going to go show how that works, but I've got it set up for contracts for the futures, but this is 2 shares and 10 years worth of data. So 2 shares at 10 years gives you $1,378 possible profit here, or if you actually would have traded like this. So that's what I'm showing. Anyways, the Russell went up, and let's look at all the buzz down for all the we'll look at the E-minis first for the S&P 500 if it will cooperate. And of course it's not cooperating. There we go. Bear with me, guys. A little technology stuff and performance problem. Anyway, so the S&P is still grinding higher, and it's bullish on everything. Well, not everything. The red trail scan indicator on the weekly is still down. Looks like it'd love to break out to the upside. We'll see if that comes true. We already looked at the Russell on the other one. Let's look at the Dow. It's also grinding higher. That's a weekly here. There we go. Nice and new kind of potential on the weekly. I mean, just the last few bars. So we're grinding higher. One of these days this thing is going to pull back and freak everybody out, and that's possibly going to be a buy potential area. We got a buy signal on the weekly on the last week on the Dow here. The NASDAQ, we have a sell on the day. So this is something to take, you could react to that and just say, all right, I'm going to close my existing NASDAQ positions, which I actually do have TQQ on. TQQQ. I get a sell signal in the NASDAQ, it could tell me, okay, I want to get out. Well, or I could go set up a stop, let's say underneath this latest low right here. Looks like from 413. I could set a stop down there. Of course, it'd be easier if I actually opened up to TQQQ. Let's look at it just for fun. The actual instrument that you're trading. I don't know what the IV is all about. Come on, TQQQ. Enter. Enough to drive you nuts. Alright. Sort of the same looking thing. Again, this is only based on 2 shares. But it'd probably make more sense to either be on 100 shares or 200 shares. But actually don't have a sell signal on the TQQQ, which matters to me. Just because the Nasdaq's down doesn't mean the TQQ is yet. And by the way, if I was looking for that pivot to like set a stop underneath, it'd be the right there off of 412. It'd be the low of that bar, and that's 26. I'd probably put it at like 25.90 or 25.95. Either one of those works. I've done this 100 different ways, and if you're going to get stopped out, you're going to get stopped out. That's one way of playing this. Again, you could actually do today's bar. You could do the low of that bar, or you could just say, just get me out, because I got a sell indicator on the Nasdaq and I want to get out of the TQQQ. You could do any of that. I'm going to stay in. That's the Nasdaq. That's probably enough. The transports went up today by a little bit. They look an awful lot like the Russell. They're coming from underneath. They're lagging the rest of the market. I don't think that's overall bullish. I think that it will be when they all get up and going. When the Russell and the transports are leading, you get probably a longer term bullish pop. But the fact that they're actually lagging, they got time to catch up. And if they do catch up, it could make a different story, and it could turn into a longer term bull market. So we'll see. USO went down, and I was expecting it to go down and pull back into the zone of where these moving averages are, or back into the zone where price was, and there it is. I did get out of the trade the other day, so I took a small loss and didn't want to hang around any longer, and is what it is. That was kind of a trade in the not in the direction of the trend, which is not how you typically want to be trading. So I was a little bit anti everything in that, but it was on purpose because of the big move that we had, and I was expecting it to pull back to the mean, actually. So that's enough of that. Actually, let's look at bonds, because I've been in TLT for a while, and that is a sell signal for today. I will just set a stop and get out. Or if I wanted to, I could go ahead and set my stop at the low of that bar. That's what I call a pivot. I'm not the only one that calls it a pivot. That's 103.6. I could put it at 103.55 or 59. I'm going to tell you it's probably going to just stop out, and I'm going to set actually a close at market for tomorrow, and that'll be fine for me. I think TLT is it's got a lot of volume, and it'll be just fine to close it out that way. I'll just take the hit. And all right, flipping over to stockcharts.com. Let's look at the bullish percent indexes. The New York Stock Exchange up by 0.49% today. The Nasdaq up by 1.01% today. It's at 38.65. It's got to get to 42 to put in a new column of X's. The SPX minus 0.33% today. The OEX minus 1.45% today at a resistance line. And the NASDAQ 100 minus 4.69%. This one needs to get to 1, 2, 3. It needs to get to 60, past 60 to the downside, and it's at 61 right now. So I'm going to tell you the odds are we're going to get a new O tomorrow, but we'll see. If this thing opens nice and big and powerful in the morning, then that could all get reversed. But it only has to go down one more. It's not even a block, it's a half a block, because these blocks are 2 points, each one of them, if you notice on the right hand side. So that's what the internals are doing, and then we'll flip over to our automatic trading system, and I'm starting with the Dow. I went through all these in pretty good detail over the weekend, so I'm not going to stick around for very long. That's what it looks like on a 6-month basis. It's holding these lows for now, and I hope it continues to, and then backfills back up to where it needs to get to. This is the Russell, and it needs to fill in all this to the upside. This is what it looks like on a 6-month chart. So I mean, this pullback here is taking longer, but it's similar to a pullback like that. It's probably gone a little deeper as well, but all in, it's still fine. The NASDAQ is the one that's been doing the best lately since it's been pulling back up again. It needs to put in new green dots and have new peak equity in our account. It's getting there, it appears, and this is what it looks like on a 6-month chart. So it's still my favorite, and it is what it is, guys. These trading systems, they tend to go sideways and dormant for a few months in the spring, and I think that's what we've seen. So we'll see how it plays out. When I open up the data to a year's worth of data, then you can see what I'm trying to get to, and it's equity like that. The runs where we go up like that, and if we have to take a little drawdown before it gets there, that is trading. That's how trading works. So that's it, guys. Have a great day tomorrow, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night.